Hi guys. So it is currently 4:24 in the morning and I can't sleep. So for some reason I can't sleep. When I'm not at my boyfriend's house or my dad's not here, I can't sleep. My dad is on nights tonight, and by the time y'all see this he'll be home, so no creepers can come find me. But yeah, so I've been wanting to do a declutter or try to do one. And I figured since I can't sleep, why not do a declutter? Why not? So we're going to go ahead and do one. I'm going to light a candle in a second. Maybe get me tired. I don't know. This might get me tired. I don't know. But yeah, if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Lainey and welcome to my channel. I usually do not make videos this late. I don't know what's going on with me. But let's go ahead and get started. So I have this candle burning right now. You can get this brand from Target, and this guy smells so good. Okay, so I'm not going to get too in detail of the drawers and stuff. I'm not going to show you guys everything, like the drawer itself. I'm just going to pull stuff out and show you guys everything, and just, be cutthroat. Try and be cutthroat. I may not be, I don't know, but let's see. So first we're going to start off with face primers. Alright, so first up I'm going to start off with the bottles in a squeezy tube. So this first one is from Laura Mercier, and this is the foundation primer. I am going to keep this one. This is one of my favorites for moisturizing. If you guys did not know, I have very dry skin, so a moisturizing primer is very, very helpful for my makeup routine, and this one really does do a good job of moisturizing. This next one is from Makeup Revolution, and this is the Pore Blur and Prime Primer. This is a really, really good primer for filling in the pores. It has a silicone feel, so if you don't like that feeling on your skin, I would not recommend this product, but I am going to be keeping this one as well. This one's a really, really nice one for filling in pores, especially like little ones, because I have little ones right in here, right in these areas, but they're not enormous, so it covers them really well. Alright, so next up I have this one from Para. I hope I said it right. This is their Blur Pang Banana Milk Blur Face Primer. I bought this from TJ Maxx a couple of months ago, and I'm going to put this in the maybe pile because I've only used it once, and I didn't really enjoy it, if that makes sense. But I'm going to go ahead and put this in the maybe pile just because it was $8. It wasn't that much. It was just something I wanted to try out. Next up, we have my favorite primer of all time. This is the Maybelline Master Prime Hydrate Primer. This is such a good hydrating primer. This is what I go in first to hydrate the skin for my base, and then I put on a pore filling primer on top of it. But this guy is almost empty, so I'm going to keep it just to use the rest of it, but I maybe have one or two more uses out of it, so it won't last very long. Alright, this next one I've never used. This is a mini version of the Pure 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. I don't know what it means by correcting. Whatever. I've never used it, so I'm thinking about just go ahead and decluttering it because I haven't used it. It's never been opened, so I'm just going to go ahead and declutter it. Alright, next up I actually have two from the same brand that I'm going to talk about. This first one I actually have with me, the other one I do not. But this one is from Catrice Cosmetics, and this is the Prime and Fine Aqua Fresh Hydro Primer. And this is a nice hydrating base primer as well. I like to use for hydration. I am going to be keeping that. And then I have the pink bottle version of that. That is the pore filling version, and I will be keeping that one as well. Alright, also for Makeup Revolution, I have the Hydrate and Prime Primer. I don't know how I feel about this yet. I've only used it a couple times. I'm going to give it one more round, and if I don't like it, then I'm going to get rid of it, because I have two other ones that I love. and know are my holy grails. So if this one doesn't start, if I don't start noticing a big difference in it, then I will be tossing or decluttering it. Alright, next up I have the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. This is an amazing primer. It's not really a hydrating primer, but I do like to use it as my base. It gives a nice cooling feel, and it does make your makeup last all day, so I really like it, and I'm going to be keeping it. Alright, next I have the Hard Candy Hydrating Primer. This is the Makeup Grip Primer. It's supposed to be like a dupe for the Milk Makeup one, and I'm going to be keeping it. It's really, really nice for making the foundation stick. Alright, I have two more squeezy tubes. So, they're both from e.l.f. So this one is from, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. This is e.l.f.'s Jelly Pop Primer. I actually just got this a couple of days ago, so I am going to keep it because I really want to give it a fair shot. And then the last squeezy tube primer I have is the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer, and I'm going to be keeping it. I really enjoy this. Okay, so now on to my bottled ones. Let me see if there's, okay. On to my bottled ones. I don't have a lot, but this first one is from Marc Jacobs, and I don't think this is the one that I love. The one that I really, really like, I had it in that squeezy tube for the longest time, that little small one. This one is a little bit more liquidy, where that one was more silicone, and the bottom of it says invisible undercover. So I do not think this is the same primer. And honestly, I haven't been noticing it working like the primer that I used to have. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this because I don't like how it makes my makeup look. And I was so disappointed in that because I found it at TJ Maxx and I was like, ooh, such a steal. Yeah, right. But next up, I have the Makeup Revolution Prime Bright Brightening Primer. This is a really, really nice primer. This one you would use for a base primer. This one really, really helps bring out your beautiful complexion. It makes your skin very, very bright and looks like you're glowing. So I really enjoy using this, and I'm going to be keeping it. Alright, next up I have this one from Malay. This one I got at Target on sale. I just saw it and I was like, I've never heard of this brand before, so I bought it. It looks like a skincare bottle. It has the little serum thing on it, but it's the Smooth Pore Minimizing Serum. So you open it and then you press it like that. So like it's in an actual dropper, and just squeeze out the product and stuff. But I don't really noticing it like filling in my pores. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this, and I haven't used it in a long time. And then last but not least, for my ones in the bottle, I have the Milk Makeup Gripping Primer. This is a really, really good primer. I am going to be keeping it. Alright, and then last up for my primer section, we're going to be doing the potted ones. So I have two from Touch and Soul. One of them I got in a BoxyCharm, and one I actually bought from BoxyCharm. So this is their Icy Sherbet Primer. This is the Pretty Filter one. So I have a big version and a smaller version. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the smaller version because I actually really do love this primer. It's like a jelly. I'm going to open the one that I have already opened. I barely use this, by the way. But it's like a jelly, but it's like a hard jelly, if that makes sense. Like it's not going to pour out on your finger or anything. But it's a really, really nice one. It does fill in the pores really, really well. I'm just going to keep the bigger version and get rid of the smaller one because I know I'll go through it fast if I keep the small one. And then these next three are from e.l.f. This is their putty primers. So first up I have the poreless one. This one has been used. This one is loved. Definitely not getting rid of that. I have the luminous putty primer, which this one I also love. It has little specks of glitter in it that makes your skin glowy when you have it on your skin. And it looks beautiful underneath foundation. And then I also have the matte one, and I know I don't need to keep all of them, but I kind of just want to keep all of them just for the you know. So I think I am going to keep all 3 of these and have them as a collection. So in total, I had 20 primers, and I'm getting rid of 6. So I'm keeping 14. That's not bad, but it could have been better. I ended up putting the Mega Revolution one in the Declutter pile and also the Blur Pang one in here. Just because I don't think I'm ever going to use those again. Now that we're here, I'm going to go ahead and get into my eyeshadow primers too. I keep my face primers and my eyeshadow primers in the same drawer. I don't know why they're primers, I guess. Alright, this is just going to be cutthroat. I don't think I'm going to be keeping any of this, but the Anastasia eye primer, I'm going to go ahead and declutter. I have the Morphe eyelid primer. I do think I am going to keep this one because I prefer this one over the Anastasia one. And then I have these 3 minis, which I'm going to keep the Urban Decay Primer Potion. And I'm going to keep the L'Oreal Behind the Scenes because I've never used this, but I want to try it. And I'm going to get rid of the Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer. Alright, so now I'm getting into foundations. And I'm going to start off with my Squeezy Tube products. So first up, I have the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. And I have this in the shade Fair 3W. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. This one is a little bit too deep for me. It's a little bit more on the neutral side where I'm a little bit more pinky. So it does not match me at all, and it's hard to tone it down. So I am going to go ahead and declutter this, but I will be repurchasing it in 2W. Then I have the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream in the shade Fair 120N. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful CC cream. I will be keeping it. It has such beautiful coverage to it. And it's a CC cream, so it's a lot better for you than real foundation. Next up, I have the Too Faced Do You Full Coverage Fresh Glow Foundation in the shade Snow. You guys know this is my go-to. I love this. I'm keeping it. If you guys have been watching me for a while now, y'all know that that has been my baby for a very, very long time. And you are an OG if you remember that. These next 2 are minis. This first one is the Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. And I have this one in the shade 1.1. I need to see if they have a lighter shade in this because this one is a little bit more nude, if that makes sense. Like when I put it on, I look gray, so I know it has like a grayish nude tint to it. So I need to see if they have a lighter shade than this, even though it's 1.1. My goodness, how pale am I? Very pale. But I really love this. It's very, very, very full coverage. Like, I'm not even joking. This is probably the most full coverage foundation that I have. And it's not matte or anything. It's not overly matte. It's like a satin finish, so I really enjoy it. So I'll be keeping it so I can finish it off. But then one I will be decluttering, and I tried so hard to love this, but it just doesn't work for me, is the Tarte Maracuja Tinted Hydrator. I don't know if I said that right. But I have it in the shade 10N Fair Neutral. This is my shade. It's just very, very, it picks up on my skin a lot because of how dry it is. So I am just going to go ahead and declutter it. Also, another tube foundation that I have that you guys may recognize me using on my channel, and it's not being shown, is the Essence, what is it, Natural Skin something foundation. No, it's their hydrating foundation, natural something. That one is actually at my boyfriend's house, so I don't have it, but that one is a lifesaver too. That one's more of a natural foundation. Once I get it back, I will be putting it into my drawer. Alright, now we're going to get into my actual bottled foundations. So, I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation, and I have it in the shade 150W, and this is an amazing foundation. I would not say it's a luminous foundation, but it's more on the satin side, and I really, really, really enjoy it. Next up, another one I will be keeping is the Catrice Cosmetics HD Liquid Camouflage, or Coverage Foundation. I'm sorry. I used to have the concealer version of this, and this is camouflage instead of coverage. so it got in my head. But I have this in the shade Rose Beige, and this is a serum foundation, and I love it. Alright, next up, I actually have two stick foundations. One I don't have on me because I ran out, and the other is actually in my hand. But this one is from Wet n Wild, and this is the Photo Focus Stick Foundation version. I'm still trying it out, but I used it the other day, and it actually lasted a very, very long time on me. So I'm enjoying it so far, but I will keep you guys updated. Okay, but the other stick foundation is the Fast Base Stick Foundation from Makeup Revolution. And that one is freaking amazing. I love it. If you guys can't tell, I'm already out of it, so I use that thing up. I freaking loved it. So I will be repurchasing it, but I just don't have it yet. Alright, next up, I have the Tarte Face Tape Foundation, and I have in the shade Fair Beige. This is a little light for me, I will not lie, but I've been able to make it work for me, and guys, this works so good. I would not use this with the flash, though, on your camera, just so you know. Do not use it with the flash. This is horrible, flashback. But besides that, this is an amazing foundation, so I plan on keeping it. I'm not doing a very good job. Next up, I have the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Longwear Foundation and Concealer in the shade LN4, which is vanilla, and I will be keeping it. This is one of my favorites. Okay. One that I am getting rid of is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation, and I have in the shade Fair 25W. It's not the product. It's not the product at all. The pump is just disgusting. I can't, my makeup collection, if you guys look at it, my makeup collection area is the cleanest area in my room. This is disgusting. Like, I clean this all the time, and it's so gross. Like, it leaks everywhere. It leaks from the sides over here. It leaks from the bottom. I just can't. I can't do it. I gotta get rid of it. And plus, I didn't use it that much anyways. Another one I will be keeping, this Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Snow. I absolutely love this foundation. It's really, really good. Okay, one that I have been hesitating on getting rid of because I know I love it, but it's old. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate foundation. Guys, you guys know my deal with this. I love this foundation so much, but it's just old. I have it in the shade F2, and I've had this for so long. I don't even know how long I've had it, so it's time to toss it. Alright, now I have I just repurchased this, so you guys know I'm not getting rid of it. This is the Flawless Satin Foundation from e.l.f., and this is in the shade Beige. If you guys have watched me from the beginning as well, you guys know this is one of my holy grails as well. And then last but not least, for foundation, I had the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Foundation in the shade Rose Ivory. Amazing foundation for dry skin. The original never worked for me, so that's why I'm kind of iffy with the stick foundation. That's why I haven't gotten rid of it yet, but I really, really, really love this. So in total, I had 15 foundations, and I'm getting rid of 4. Not a good job on the foundations, but now we're getting into concealers. Alright, so first up I have this is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Concealer. This is in the shade 110 Fair. I actually have not had this very long. This is my first time trying this concealer out, and I've really been enjoying it, so I'm going to keep it. I have the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Full Coverage Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral. This is a really, really nice concealer. I didn't really expect to love it the way that I do. I actually got this for $6 at TJ Maxx, and it had never been touched, never been opened. So I got it, and I've actually been using it a lot. I'm keeping the Urban Decay one, by the way. Next up, I actually just purchased this one, so I'm definitely keeping it. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. This is the one that you hit the bottom and it clicks. And I have this in the shade Fair 10C. So I will be keeping this. I'm still testing it out. Alright, one that I can get rid of. This is the Dragon Beauty color corrector in the shade, is lavender. Lavender. Yeah, lavender. Not lavender, lavender. It's purple. I'm never going to use it. I think I used it once and I didn't know how to use it, so I'm going to get rid of it. Next up, I have the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer. This is in the shade 23. I think this is I Am Magic. I hope so. I get Jeffree Star's concealer and their concealer names mixed up sometimes. I think it's I Am Magic Concealer. Let me know if I'm wrong though, but I love this concealer. I love how thick the bottle is, so you get a lot of product in here. And it's a really, really good product in general, so I will be keeping it. Alright, one that I will be keeping is a mini version of the NARS Radiance Concealer, Creamy Concealer or something like that. And I have it in the shade Light 2 Vanilla. I love this so, so much for just covering up blemishes and walking out the door. It's very, very good for that. Now, one that I can get rid of, this is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. This is in the shade Fair 10N. I used to love this. I used to use it all the time, but I just don't use it anymore. And I don't want it to just sit there because I love ColourPop. I love them to death. They're one of my favorite makeup brands ever. That's why I had so many makeup palettes from them. But it's just time to let it go. Alright, I will be keeping the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair Neutral 12N. This guy is kind of, you know, catching up on me. I'm starting to like it a lot. I've been using it a lot, so we'll be keeping it. Another one that I can get rid of, this is the Kylie Cosmetics Skin Concealer in the shade Shell. This just didn't impress me. I used it a couple times. I even tried to use it to cover up my blemishes, and it just faded out into nothing. So I'm just gonna have to go ahead and declutter it. Alright, the rest of these I'm not getting rid of. So these next two concealers are from e.l.f. and this is their Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have two shades. I have Fair Beige and Fair Warm. Love these so, so much. They are 10 times better than the original. And then I have my favorite concealer of all time is the Morphe Fluidity Full Coverage Concealer in the shade C145. I freaking love this concealer. It is amazing. And this shade for me works perfectly. It's got a pinky undertone, so it really just peaks out redness really, really good. Like to add like a blushy tone to your skin. I just freaking love it, and it just kind of tones out all of right here, like my bags and stuff, and my dark circles really, really well. And then last but not least for concealer, I have the Wet n Wild Incognito All Day Full Coverage Concealer. I freaking love this concealer, and it's in the shade Fair. So in total, I have 13 concealers, and I got rid of 3. That's really, really good, honestly. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, so I'm going to have to break this up in parts. So that is the end of part 1. I talked a lot. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And I'll see you guys in part 2.